Alright guys, I got a really fun little game here for you today in my tier 10 gearing. This is, first of all, obviously a post-recorded replay. I had literally just played this game, although I unfortunately did not record it live. But I played this game and I was thinking like halfway through, I was like, man, I really wish that I was recording this. And you'll see why in a few minutes. Well, more than a few minutes, I guess. No spoilers, if the title of this video doesn't spoil it already. But anyway, this is obviously a tier 10 game. First things first, looking at the threats to my ship. Novosibirsk, radar. This Des Moines also has radar. Only 2 destroyers in the Hayate and the gearing. There's no carrier, no submarines. That's always great. 5 battleships to farm, only the 2 radars. The Smolensk, Napoli are going to be really, really annoying to deal with. Napoli needs no introduction at this point, and Smolensk also probably needs no introduction, but for those of you who might not know, Smolensk has, I think, 16 130mm guns with Russian ballistics. That's, and it also has a smoke screen, because, you know, why not? And then, Napoli, is tankier than a Petro, tankier than a GK, I think. I'm not even kidding. I think GK has, like, a certain part of its hull, or like a certain section that a Des Moines can pen and the Napoli doesn't, or is like, I don't remember exactly what it is. It might be like a casemate or something. I don't know, but basically, Napoli has armor that a Des Moines cannot pen. When that Des Moines can pen a GK from the same angle, or some bullshit like that. But anyway, it also has a high-speed smoke and the sap secondaries that go out to fucking 12 kilometers. So, yeah. Anyway, this Stalingrad radars, I honestly have no idea as to why. I think I look back at him in a few seconds. I'm looking at dropping some Make-A-Wish torpedoes right now. The fact that this Stalingrad radared, he is detected, so I guess he got detected and radared, which is fair enough. Typically, at the start of the game like this, things will be bow in, so if it spots a Stalingrad and it wants to turn out, it'll have to do a full gamer turn, and it runs the risk of inting into the Stalin radar. If I was him, I still think he would have been better off holding it at least a little while longer, but fair enough, I guess. Brisbane turned broadside to Montana, a GK is Smolensk, so, you know. He got dev struck, because of course he did. And right now, what I'm looking at is this giant blob right here. And I'm looking at this, and I'm thinking, that looks like a very heavy side. And then I see this Montana right here, who most likely spawned like in this little area right here. And as soon as I see this, I'm like, okay, yeah, that is definitely going to be their push side. Looking at the mini-map, they have most of their ships accounted for. Neither destroyer has been spotted yet, but almost everything else has. We're only missing the 2 destroyers and I think the Zayo. Those are literally the only 2 ships that we're missing at this point. I believe literally everything else has been accounted for. So as soon as I see the orientation of this Montana, I'm like, okay, yep, they're going to be hard kiting from this side. So I'm not going to waste my time here. C is basically secured. I'm not going to worry about it. We have a Worcester and a Stalingrad and a Montana here that can defend it, as well as a Mecklenburg who can walk basically either this way and get crossfire shots on this lot, or he can come up behind here and pincher this Des Moines while these guys go up front, or that he can sit right here while these guys go up there and pincher that Des Moines. So he has a fair bit of options available to him. So I'm just going to leave my team over here to their own devices, and I'm just going to rotate right over, and I'm going to step into B cap. when we look at the mini-map right here, they have a lot of ships over here. Namely, there's the Soyuz, I believe the GK, and the Novosibirsk are all on this island. So what I'm probably looking at doing right now, or not probably, what I am looking at doing right now, is I'm just going to step right into B, and if I get radared, so what? None of these guys have shots on me. The Napoli is a fair old distance away. The Wisconsin is a fair old distance away. So I have time to react and to dodge if I were to get shot at. And then there's also the matter of the Novosibirsk radar being pretty short anyway. I'm honestly not sure what these guys are thinking right here. GK just kind of pushed out and ate a bunch of Shimatorps. And I believe this Soyuz is about to get absolutely fucking dev struck. Yep. As soon as I turn away, I just see the Soyuz pop up in the kill feed, and I just look back, and I just see that little white bar, and I was like, well, damn. Okay. I honestly didn't think that Vermont had that kind of angle on him. From here, it looks like there was a little bit of angle, but obviously not. So right here, I'm just going to launch some torpedoes at this Montana. They're entirely Make-A-Wish torpedoes. My shot was eluded by that little corner of the island there, which is unfortunate, but I just popped them off anyway, because you never know your luck. Maybe the Smolensk turns north and ints into them. Maybe the Napoli turns north and ints into them. Maybe the Montana sails in a straight line for the next 2 minutes and ints into them. You never know our luck, and it's not like we're going to be needing them in the next minute anyway, because everything is either unspotted or behind islands, so it's really not that big of a deal. And right now, the A-cap is being flipped by the gearing. I'm honestly not sure as to why that gearing took as long as he did to step into A. He had a pretty clear open path for like the past like minute and a half or so at least. But, you know, whatever. Annapolis radar does not pick up the gearing, but the Novosibirsk, I can only imagine, just decides to counter... Oh shit, I just hit my microphone. Decides to counter radar the Annapolis, which, fair enough, I guess. Novo is just sitting behind the island. I am worried about the Smolensk right here, because he very well could arc over that island and hit me if he wanted to, but in what can only be described as your typical Smolensk player fashion, he is more interested in farming damage on this Vermont than shooting at me. So right now you might be looking at this and you might be thinking, well, this game kind of fucking sucks. What the hell are you doing showing it to us? And you would be right, because up to this point, that's exactly what I was thinking. I was like, man, this game is kind of sucky, but, you know, that is the nature of random. Sometimes you don't really get to do a whole lot. Sometimes you just spawn on the wrong side, or the enemy team just dies before you can do anything. And sometimes you have people like this gearing who just kind of donate to you. So, you know, whatever. I am going to repair my engine right here, and I'm going to try and accelerate out of the way of these Montana shells, which doesn't end up happening, which, by the way, those shells hit like around this little section right there on the torpedo tube. You can actually, hold on, can we see the damages? Yeah, we can see the hole that it made right there, but it still knocked out the gun turret over there for some reason. But anyway, we do launch some torpedoes out. This Montana could int into them, and this Montana, I'm accounting, is probably going to try and get behind this island to avoid me, which he is mostly going to do, but we are going to get kind of ass RNG, and we can, like, you can already see that giant torpedo gap in between there, which is a little unfortunate. Now, we are getting radared right here, but I'm also not really that worried about it, because this Montana had already shot. Half of that Montana's guns are eluded behind that island, and then the Novosibirsk is completely behind an island. So basically, no one had shots on me except for that Montana right there, and he only had half of his maximum firepower. So I was okay with just sitting in that smoke and tanking that radar a little bit. And I would have stayed in the smoke for a little while longer to try and farm, but this Montana was kiting away. This Montana was reversing behind the island from where I was there. So at this point, all I'm doing is I'm just sitting here and I'm going to take back A, and I'm going to just keep these guys spotted because this Montana is just reversing broadside to the Petropavlovs, the Annapolis, and the Vermont. So I guess typical Montana player things. I think one of these salvos here is about to absolutely dumpster him. It wasn't that one. Might be this one. Yeah, it's that one. That is a white bar right there. Well, it was when it was white. Now it's just gray. But anyway, this Novosibirsk, I don't know what he's doing. He just decides to round the corner broadside to a Petro, a Vermont, and Annapolis. I guess he's looking at this and he's deciding, well, fuck this. I'm just going to kill myself and go next. So fair enough, I guess. While all this is going on, by the way, our Worcester killed himself via Des Moines, because, you know, Worcester things. And then our Stalingrad, Mecklenburg, and Montana do mop up this Des Moines, and the Zayo and Wisconsin are just hard kiting. So we've won C basically from the start because they just hard kited from there from the start, except for the Des Moines who got run over. And I initially had armor piercing loaded to try and farm this Montana while he was broadside, because he was angled to this lot down here, which is why I had the armor piercing loaded. And I was expecting him to kind of like just do a sharp turn in. That's why I kind of spread those torpedoes out a little bit ahead and behind him. But he ended up turning out and turning broadside. He ate shit for it. He ate a few torps for it. You know how that business goes. So this game is something that I really think is lost for a lot of players just in general, and that's just being patient, right? I mentioned it a little bit earlier in the game. You might have been thinking around that point of like, this game is kind of ass. Why are you wanting to show this to us? And this is exactly why. A lot of destroyer players, or really just a lot of players in general, what you'll see happen is they'll get impatient and they'll think, man, this game sucks. I want to get more damage. Or I want to get a base cap, or I want this, I want that. Whatever the case may be, they'll get impatient and they'll just kind of donate to the enemy team, or they'll eat a bunch of shit and be crippled for the rest of the game. They might int into torps. They might just sail out into a crossfire to try and dislodge some annoying cruiser or something. And they'll often kill themselves for it. And what this game, I think, really highlights is you just need to be patient and you need to look at the map, figure out, okay, from where I am now, what can I do to influence this game? And if you care, get a little bit of damage. I personally really don't care about doing damage. I always play for the win, which is something that I always encourage everyone else to do as well, is play to win, and as a reward, the damage will come to you. But in this game, I kind of had to go chasing after the damage a little bit. It was a bit of a stomp. I mean, yeah, like there's no question about that. But the big thing here is just have patience, take your time, look for opportunities that are safe above all else, but also just look for opportunities to get cheeky shots in, torpedo luck chucks, whatever you want to call them, Make-A-Wish torpedoes like we saw with the Montana earlier, which, by the way, I don't recommend making Make-A-Wish torpedoes in general unless you know that you're not going to be needing them for the next little while, or you just have a really, really fast torpedo reload anyway. Typically, you are better off saving your torpedoes for more solid targets. But if you have nothing better to shoot them at, and you know that that you're not going to be needing them in the next little while, yeah, whatever. They're Make-A-Wish torps. If they hit, they hit. If not, whatever. But I think I have rambled on for the past 3 minutes, so I'm going to wrap up this replay here. I hope you have enjoyed. So, yeah, that's it. I will see you on Monday, and also keep an eye out on my community tab because I have something cooking. Potentially, we'll see how it develops, but just keep an eye out on my community tabs. That's all I'm gonna say. So with that, I will see you on Monday.